Hi, everyone. Welcome to Left Undone Incomplete Investigations. Make sure I'm not muted. Let me know if anything is weird or wrong. Hi, everyone, and good to see you. Hey, Rebecca. Oh, you were early. Where is everybody? It's about time. So, hi, everyone. I am Kathy, Left Undone Incomplete Investigations. Been here for about 3 years exactly right now. And I see all my lovely, wonderful regulars. I need a name for you guys. Did anybody come up for a name? Everybody's got these cool names for their followers, and I don't have any. You want to be the undoners? That sounds stupid. The lefters? That sounds even more stupid. So I am here. Happy Saturday. Hi, PLM and Lori and Delilah and Rebecca. Cement Shoes. I like that name. Angel Hugs. Good to see you. And Shalima. So what's new? Let's see. I just hit my knee and it really hurts. I Amber. And other than that, happy Saturday. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. There's some things I was working on my Afterglow podcast. If you don't know about Afterglow, it is a podcast that I'm doing on the Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell. Hi, Deanna and Pamela. Chad Daybell, Lori Vallow, Daybell, whatever her name is at the moment. Case. And Afterglow, I am in season 2, episode 8. And I was working on episode 8 today, and I came across some stuff that I was like, wait, did I know this? I mean, there's so much. So you sort of can forget things. Hi, Corinne. And it's so nice to see everybody. I'm glad you guys are here. I am going to try to do my Saturdays. I like this new time that I picked. It seems to work as long as I don't have anything going on. I don't have company. I don't have my kids here. So if you like it, last week people said they like this 2:00 time, 2 Pacific. I'm on the Pacific. So I know my room has a purple. So I switched to my guest room because you guys, how many things do I have going on? I bebop around my house trying to find the perfect background all the time. And my son was staying here in this guest room for a long time, but he's gone. So I switched to my guest room. But the problem, purple afterglow, is true. The problem with this room is it is in the front of the house, and I don't think it was insulated. This was a new build. I don't think it was insulated very well. So it gets really cold in the winter and it gets really hot in the summer. So there's no way I can do it in the summer. I live in the desert. But for now, this is where I'm at. So I got purple, although it's a pink one and a blue one. So they're combined and they're making purple. So anyway, so I was working on Afterglow, unveiling the Idaho cult. Hi, Carrie. And I came across some documents as I'm going through the timeline where I'm up to now. On Afterglow, I am up to the last one that was released was the audio. Hi, Donna Donald. You like the background? Nice. Cool. Awesome. I like that. Relaxing is good. We need more of that. I feel like I'm always like stressed. Like yesterday, my mom had something going on and the Instacart driver was coming and I was like, ah, and she's like, why are you always so stressed out? My mom is 85. She is retired. She doesn't understand stress anymore. No. Oh my God. I can't believe you just said that. I'm sorry, but I do not like, I thought that for a lawyer, Scott Reich's background was so nice with the books and the plaque and all the stuff that he has. And now it looks like graffiti. I don't like it. I don't know if you guys have told him that, but thumbs down. I really liked his old background. I think he needs to go back to it. I don't like that neon thing. So I will not be getting a neon graffiti sign behind me. I know 10 to Life has a really nice one. It fits perfectly with her personality and her, but Scott's like, he's an attorney. So it just doesn't make sense to me that that's what he's using. But his channel, not mine. We're not going to criticize, I guess. But anyway, I kind of just did. I take care of my 89-year-old mama, and she got a fancy new pacemaker Thursday. Oh, good. Is she doing okay? Good. I'm glad she's doing good. Yeah, it's so crazy. The ticker starts to tick tock. So pacemaker, I'm glad that she was able to get that. She get a lot. My uncle had a heart transplant when he was in his 60s and he lived till his late 80s. So some of this medical science is amazing. No, it doesn't fit his vibe. Right. It doesn't fit at all. So anyway, if anybody wants to tell Scott we don't like it, he didn't give it. Did he give everybody a? Did he even ask people if they wanted it or not? Like, we're the ones looking at it, right? I'm not on mute, am I? I better not be. Am I? I like Scott's new background, but I can't help it remind of a sexy 1-900 number when I see it. Crime Talk After Dark. Yes. Yeah. Scott, I like Scott's old background too. I watch him. I learn a lot from him. And but that I keep looking at that neon sign now and I'm like, it just doesn't fit. It doesn't go with this personality and it doesn't go with this show. So anyway. Okay, good. So as I was working on Afterglow today, I was going through the timeline and I came up with some stuff. Hi, Melissa Hart. All right, Donna. Great. Okay, you guys can hear me. Perfect. Thank you. There's a delay, so I'm already like, are you sure you can't hear me? And then nobody's answering. And then a few seconds later or a minute later, you guys answer. So yeah, graffiti, right? So, uh-oh. Maybe you should reboot, Jenny. Reboot. Let's tell her to reboot. Leave and come back. All right. Carrie says I'm loud and clear. So maybe there's something going on. Make sure you're not muted. Like, you know how YouTube, when it starts, sometimes it automatically has that little icon with the slash through it that says it mutes it. I haven't seen it yet, but maybe his fiance picked it up. He has a wife, right? He has a wife and a fiance? Well, that's interesting. Are we starting rumors? Are we starting Scott Reich rumors? Yeah, and I can't even really read it. It says Crime Talk, but it's sideways. But, you know, I'm old. I prefer the proper lawyer background. Thank you very much. So I know I'm jumping around. Some people get really annoyed with me jumping around, but I like to interact with you guys. That's one reason why I really like the live streams is because I get to interact with you. So I'm also like focused on the chat. Oh, they weren't married. Oh, I thought they were married. I thought all along, I thought they were married. I thought they were like old married couple. So I guess I don't know anything. I really don't know. So if they were fiancé, then that's what they are, as far as I know. I just assumed all this time that they were married. Old. My birthday's next month. Do you guys know how old I'm going to be next month? It's not the big one yet. The big one is coming though. So, yeah, my birthday is February. So, okay. So back to what I was talking about. I don't know if you guys know this. You probably do, because look at me. I'm late to the party right now and all kinds of things. I have too many things going on in my world, but not an old married couple. Okay. Where have I been? I don't know. Right, Carrie? Okay. At least Carrie thought he was married too. Let's see. Since you all can hear, it has to be on my end, but no sound at all. My Fire Cube or laptop phone works though. How weird. I wonder what's going on. His ears, his nose is probably itching, or his palms, or what is it when you talk about somebody? Like, somebody's talking about me. So, okay, I don't know the facts on Scott apparently, but I do know that his background is not my favorite. I like the old one. So otherwise, I have no idea if he's married or not married, or if he's married and has a fiance, or if he has a fiance and not a wife, or if they haven't been together forever. All right. So, yes, thank you, Cement Shoes. Thumbs up, please, you guys, because you know, if YouTube doesn't recommend videos out there unless it gets the people that normally subscribe and stuff come in and give it the thumbs up. So then it's like, oh, the regulars like it. So that's a good thing. Let's show it to more people that aren't regulars. I was been researching this algorithm stuff. Yeah, his ears, his nose, his ears. Something's ringing. My ears are ringing, but they're always ringing lately. Again, another old thing. So, let's see what I was going to say. Okay. So Afterglow. So it's going through the timeline, and we are up to right after Lori had the welfare check, where they come in and she's like, oh, what's all of this? Oh my goodness, I just talked to the police on the phone. What's this? Oh, my brother's here. Not the bad brother, not the one that wants to kill me. The other brother's here. The one that loves me. He's my protector. And they're like, well, we were here earlier, and who was here with your brother? And she's like, oh, his friend. And he's like, his friend. And they clearly know they're already married. That's how stupid she is, right? So his friend, Chad, he's an author. He's an author. And then they're like, oh, Chad, Chad, did his wife die recently? And then the other cop's like, I don't know. And he's like, Chad DeBell, doesn't he have a bunch of kids? Or doesn't he have some daughters? And then Lori's like, he has a bunch of kids. So anyway, big fat lies, right, going on. So I've got it too now, Amber. I thought it was allergies, but it's not going away. And I can't even be in the quiet anymore. I have to keep like a sound machine or something on because it makes me nuts. So yeah, I got it too. And it's like constant. I hate it. I don't know why I have it. Someone said it's because we're going deaf, but I don't know about that. So thank you for giving me the thumbs up. So they're there. So that was the last Afterglow. Hi, Christian, episode that I posted. And today I'm working on what happened a little bit before and a little bit after that. So I went through the documents where the police talked to Chad and Alex. And Chad tried to drive away when the police rolled up, and they stopped him. And he basically lied. Oh, I don't have Lori's phone number, da, da, da. And then later he says, well, I do have Lori's phone number. And they asked if he knew where JJ was and, all this stuff. So they're all lying. None of them even had their story straight at this point. Like, did they not expect somebody to come look for JJ? I guess not. They just killed him, killed Tylee, and they were just like living their best life, getting ready for the doomsday. 144,000 crap that Lori's the queen of. So as I'm working on this, I was like, Lori's Nissan Rogue. Apparently, I'm good, Gayla. How are you? Nice to see you. So remember the Nissan Rogue that she's driving at the storage unit, this Nissan Rogue? Well, apparently she told Colby she was going to give it to him. So Alex and Melanie Boudreau drive down from, do you guys know this? Somehow I missed this about the Nissan Rogue. So Alex and Melanie Boudreau Pulowski drive down from Rexburg for Thanksgiving. And then Melanie is going to spend Thanksgiving with Ian, her husband almost to be in a minute, and his family. So they drive down and they leave the Nissan Rogue in front of Hannah, the sister. Is this news to you? Okay, because I was like, what? God, when you dig into this stuff, you find stuff that we never really went over. So they left the Nissan Rogue in front of Hannah's house for Colby. And I guess Colby comes and picks it up. Yes, this is the Thanksgiving after the kids were killed, right before, days before, Zalem, Alex, and Melanie and Ian get married. So this is, the welfare check was on November 26th. The FBI warrant where they came and busted in and had their search warrant was on the 27th. Lori and Chad were already gone, and the neighbor had seen them packing up stuff, I guess. And Alex and Melanie booked it, left. They took off. And they left stuff. They left like toys in front of Lori's house, and they left belongings and that kind of stuff. So the Nissan Rogue was driven down from Melanie and Uncle Alex and then they left it in front of Hannah's house, who is Ian's sister. And then Hannah and her husband, this is all in the documents, and I'll pull some of them up. They're kind of, I've been looking through them to try to get the story straight. But Hannah and her husband were gone. And then when they came back that next morning, I don't know if it was like the day after Thanksgiving, I can't remember. It's in there though. They came back and the car was gone. Well, Colby never told anybody that when the police came to the door, he never told them that his mom was giving him this Nissan Rogue for him and Kelsey. And by the time he told them this, it had already been detailed and cleaned. Well, in the documents, in the probable cause affidavit, it says there was large blood stain in the Nissan. There was blood. So they wind up figuring this out over the next couple of weeks, and they came and did buckle swabs on Kelsey and Colby. So there is some major DNA. They took that Nissan Rogue at some point, and there is some major DNA in there. So yeah. So let me share. Let me find it. Let's see. Okay. We'll go through this together because it's kind of a little bit out of order, but you'll get what I'm talking about when we go through this. So let me go. Here we go. All right. Can you guys see it okay? Oops. That's, I want this one. Okay. Can you see it okay? I know, right? I mean, God, digging. That's why my Afterglow podcast is really good, because I'm so digging into everything, like in the timeline. I don't know whose blood. They haven't told us yet, but remember they said there's a lot more stuff that we don't even know. And remember, Kate and Larry wound up giving their truck to Colby and Kelsey because I think probably, hi Rita, I think probably they wound up giving the truck to Colby and Kelsey because they felt bad because the Nissan was impounded and that was supposed to be Colby's car. But then after that, at some point, they took the truck back from Colby and Kelsey. That's a good question, because it seems like Lori's sending him money all the time. All right, so let's go. So this says, I'm going to go down a little bit because this is not, we're going to go down. Okay. So I'll start with this one. So on 12/21/2019 at 900 hours, Colby, brother, we know Colby is, contacted me, this is the detective, via my cellular phone. Colby stated that he observed media reports concerning his siblings and was even more concerned for their well-being. Colby briefly explained following the contact of Detective Pillar and I at his residence on November 27th, 2019. Colby contacted Lori. Colby said he told Lori the police had inquired about, I guess that's the kids, right? Lori replied they were fine and she would communicate with the police. And that communication didn't happen. So then it says, Colby informed me he had recently come into possession of a blue Nissan Rogue, Arizona, obviously license plate number, that was still registered to Lori and his uncle, Alex Cox. but had recently been gifted to him. And the police officer says, I was familiar with this particular vehicle, a whole bunch of redaction, September and October of 2019. So I think they saw it coming and going in the storage unit, right? Colby said he came into possession of the vehicle on 11/30, so November 30th. So 3 days after the police were at his door, he got the car. So that's pretty fishy, right? Because he's like, oh yeah, I'll let you know if I hear from her. All right, I'm coming back because I don't have my double screen, so I want to see what you guys are saying. Yeah, that's weird too, right? That's new. Right? And I honestly think despite being used to shocking info in the Daybell case, the trial will cause all of our jaws to drop. Oh God. Well, that's true. That's true. Hi, Ruby. How are you? So, okay, I'm gonna go back because I wanted to. I get nosy with the chat because I am on a different screen, and so I can't see the chat. So let me go back here. So it was gifted to him, and he got it on November 30th, 2019, after Lori explained the vehicle would be driven to Arizona for him to use. Colby said Lori ceased communication with him, but Colby was able to communicate with his uncle, Alexander, who facilitated Colby retrieving the vehicle from a residence in Mesa. Based on the known presence of that vehicle in Idaho during the time frame blank were last observed, and the availability of the vehicle to Lori, Chad, and Alex, I felt there could possibly be presence of evidence or information associated with the missing endangered children. I advised Colby of my desire to seize the vehicle for evidence processing. Colby replied he understood and would cooperate. I instructed Colby not to enter the vehicle or remove anything from it. Now, that's page 100 of 230, and then it skips. But there's more. So, further follow-up with Colby and collection of buccal swabs. So, on December 23rd, at approximately 10 o'clock, I arrived to their apartment in Mesa, where I contacted Colby and his wife. Colby and Kelsey reside at the residence with their daughter. I had previously spoken to Colby via cellular telephone and arranged this meeting. I had previously advised Colby of the preliminary presence of blood located in the Nissan Rogue. Thus, I wanted to obtain the buccal swab samples from he, Kelsey, and the little one for possible DNA comparison. So they're saying right there, there's blood. And something I read, and I don't know if it's coming up, but it said there was quite a large spot of blood somewhere in there. I'm not a big fan of the idea of hell, but if there's a cosmic justice, Alex is being dominated by a pack of dogs who bite him in the crotch every time he does something sketchy. Seriously. I hope JJ and Tylee finally get justice and peace for their loved ones. This case has gone on so long, so long. Hey, how you doing there, Doug? Nice to see you. And let's see. Okay, so I'm going to go back here. So all 3 buccal swabs collection samples were later impounded at the Gilbert Police Department. Colby then spoke with me further, referencing his recent contacts with his mother, Lori, and his siblings, to the best of his recollection. Concerning the Nissan Rogue, Colby estimated in early to middle November, Lori contacted him by telephone and advised him that Alex Cox would be visiting a female friend in Arizona for Thanksgiving. Lori told him Alex would be driving her Nissan Rogue to Arizona to give to Colby for he and Kelsey to use. Okay, so we're not asking about our siblings. My mom moved away. he says he didn't know where, I always really, really felt bad for Colby, but some of this is just making my mind a little bit like, wait, what? Um, so Alex is going to see a female friend, Zolema, I'm assuming, for Thanksgiving. And Lori told him Alex will be driving her Nissan Rogue to give to Colby and Kelsey. Following the contact with Detective Pillar on 11/27, Colby called Lori and advised her the police had spoken to him about blank, the kids. Colby said Lori replied they were fine and she would contact the police about it. Colby said the following day on Thanksgiving, he attempted to speak with Lori again via her cellular phone, but was advised the telephone call could not be completed because Lori's phone was disconnected. But they had a lot of phones, burner phones, so still could be sketchy. Colby said he could not contact Lori. The only other person he had a telephone number for was Alex. Colby said he communicated with Alex via both telephone and text. Colby told Alex he could not communicate with Lori and was inquiring about the vehicle. Alex confirmed the vehicle would be made available to Colby to pick up. Alex also added the kids were fine. On the morning of November 30th, Alex sent Colby a text message providing the address of East Sebring Avenue in Mesa and said the keys for the vehicle would be in the glove box. The resident was identified as the home of a friend of Melanie Boudreau. It's Ian's sister's house. Her name is Hannah. Shortly after receiving the text messages, Colby went to the residence where he found the vehicle unlocked with the vehicle keys in the glove box. Once Colby came into possession of the Nissan Rogue, he found the interior and exterior of the vehicle to be dirty. Colby said he took the vehicle to a car wash to be cleaned. Colby recalled the front passenger seat was covered in animal hair. Colby said he has been in possession of the vehicle since then. Colby said no one else has used the vehicle outside of he and Kelsey, and no one had contacted him about the vehicle. He said the last communication from Lori was in the form of an email. Okay, I'm going to come back and see what you guys are talking about because I can't stay away this long. Oh my goodness, Lori, thank you so much. I really appreciate that very, very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Yes, Doug, you should listen to my Afterglow podcast. It's on the podcast platform. Though I have some of the episodes on YouTube, but the audio is weird because of the magic mastering that the podcast use. It's so much better. So if you do want to listen to it, that's the place to hear it. Colby has made a number of disappointing choices, but the guy spent his formative years with manipulative, narcissist mother and oppressively shady family. I can see where yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, definitely nurture versus nature there. There's a lot of crazy ass nurture going on. And all the lies about Joe Ryan and the abuse issues, the SA issues, Lori telling him to lie. I mean, the poor kid needs a lifetime of therapy. Seriously. I mean, we all do. And we weren't raised by Lori. So can you only imagine? Super fishy. So, okay, I'm going to go back now that I came to visit you guys in the chat. I need to get my two screens again so I'm not so bouncing around here, but let's see. Okay. And then there's this email. So Colby said his last communication with Lori was an email. So apparently Colby sent Lori an email on the 28th, probably after her phone didn't work or whatever. And he said, Mom, you changed your number. What's going on? Lori replied, I guess was sent to Lori on 12/2 in response. Okay. Mom, you changed your number. What's going on? Lori replied, Hi, Colbs. I need you to know that we are safe and happy. I know this sounds confusing to you, but I need you to trust me that although there are wicked people trying to cause harm, that Jesus is on our side to take care of us. Yeah. Hopefully Jesus is taking care of your children in heaven, lady. Although we may be out of touch for a while, I will continue to help you. I love you all so much. The car and the car insurance will be paid for, so you can drive it with no worries. The phones will also be good. You are precious to your mama. Isn't she sick? I love you so much. Kisses to blank and you and Kelsey. So baby, Riley, right? I hope to talk soon. I will continue to pray blessings on your family constantly. And then Colby goes into the mobile payments via Lori from Venmo. He explained it was not unusual for Lori to give him money and pay for services for he and Kelsey, such as the cellular phone service. Colby provided me with screen capture images of Venmo transactions to his account from both Lori's account and Tylee's account, because he says that in the interview with Justin Lum. Colby said Lori would be sending him payments from Tylee, I'm assuming, Venmo account. Colby also provided a second Venmo account for Lori identified as something, but Colby has not received any payments from that account. And then they looked at the Venmo transactions for that. And then this is where they're going into the person's house that it was at. I'm coming back to see what you're talking about. Carrie, it should be up by tomorrow. I've already recorded it. I'm just editing it now. What county does Judge Boyce work in? Courtney. Oh, that is one thing, to say. Larry and Kay are begging everyone to email Judge Boyce and beg him to allow the cameras for the trial. I mean, it only makes sense. There's extended family. People cannot go there for 10 weeks that are family members, and they're leaving, they're kicking everybody out because, oh gosh, because we zoomed in on Lori's ring, fake ring, rubber band ring, So I really think they should allow the cameras in. Look at the Murdoch trial. Big trials have cameras in there, and it's definitely got a lot of public interest. So whatever. Let's see. Hi, Emily. Yeah, right. Leave Jesus out of it, because Jesus is not happy with you, my dear Lori. She's a nut. Oh. Okay. So let me go back. So this is where it goes into follow up at the house in Mesa. So on December 26th at approximately 12:50 hours, I arrived to East Sebring Avenue in Mesa to conduct the follow-up reference. And this residential address was provided by Colby as the location where he came into possession of Lori's Nissan Rogue. Upon my arrival, I made contact with the resident and homeowner, Hannah Blackmer. Hannah resides at the home with her husband, Lance Blackmer, and their 2 young children. Lance was not at the residence at the time of my initial contact. Hannah identified herself as the sister of Ian Pulowski. I was aware Ian Pulowski married Melanie Boudreau at the end of November 2019 and has since continued to reside in Rexburg, Idaho. I informed Hannah I was following up concerning the whereabouts of the kids, I'm assuming. Hannah replied she was familiar with the missing juveniles because of the recent media coverage of the incident. Hannah confirmed a blue Nissan Rogue had been driven to their residence by Melanie around the time of Thanksgiving and later picked up by unknown subject. I just thought of something. Do you remember that Melanie Boudreau Pulowski said it was just she got on an app, to dating app for LDS people, and so weird because Ian actually lived right across the street and she met him in Idaho, and it was just so bizarre. And Ian has to be from Arizona, right? Because his sister lives there and I think she knew him through this whole crazy, you get to be one of the 144,000 and you get to be one of the 144,000. You got to get rid of your husband, but we got a better one for you. Here, take this guy. But the other one's got to go. We got to shoot him. Okay, sorry. I'm going to get comfortable here. There we go. Thank you. That is the address to write. P.O. Box 389, Rexburg, Idaho. And fax. I think we should all send at least just a quick letter. Say, can we please just get the The family is begging you, and we are on their side for this. It is, right? How many people were okay with it all? It's just crazy. And then all the backpedaling with all those other interviews with the witchy circle ladies, I call them witchy circle ladies, but the incantations, what were they doing? What was it? The casting out crew. We could be the casting in crew. Okay, so I'm going to go back. So I informed Hannah was following up concerning the whereabouts, and she replied she was familiar with the missing juveniles because of the recent media coverage. Hannah confirmed the blue Nissan Rogue had been driven to their residence by Melanie Pinocchio, around the time of Thanksgiving 2019, and later picked up by an unknown subject, which we now know as unknown subject is Colby. Hannah explained Ian's visit to their home for Thanksgiving holiday 2019 had been planned months in advance. Hannah said Ian arrived at her home on Saturday, November 23rd, 2019, with his 2 children in Ian's Toyota Corolla. Ian informed her approximately 1 week prior, Ian and Melanie met via an online dating application, and she would be also coming to Arizona to visit. It's just too weird. Oh, wow, we're from Arizona, and we're from Arizona, and we live in Rexburg, and we live in I'm super suspicious of everything these people do. If they sneeze, I'm going to be like, what was that all about? Hannah said on November 27th, 2019, at approximately 6:30 p.m., Melanie arrived to their residence to visit. Melanie drove the Nissan Rogue. Hannah said Melanie stayed at the home on Wednesday until approximately 11 o'clock p.m. to midnight, and then left to sleep somewhere else before returning the following day on Thursday, November 28th, for Thanksgiving. Melanie again left the residence at approximately 11 o'clock to midnight and slept somewhere else. On Friday, November 29th, Melanie and Ian spent more time together at the residence, and Melanie stayed the night. On Saturday, November 30th morning, Ian, Melanie, and Ian's 2 children left the residence and traveled in Ian's Toyota Corolla. And Hannah said she later learned that Ian and Melanie were married in Las Vegas. So they went there that day and got married that day. Hannah said the Nissan Rogue was left parked in front of their residence, and she was told someone would be picking up the vehicle. Hannah said she was not comfortable with that, but on November 30th, she and her husband left the residence in the morning. When they returned at approximately noon, the Nissan Rogue was no longer at their residence. Hannah did not know who came to retrieve the vehicle. Hannah said she was told Melanie drove the Nissan Rogue to Arizona with her uncle Alex. Hannah said Melanie spoke a lot about her former husband and that he blamed her for someone shooting at him. And can you believe my ex-husband thinks I had something to do with shooting at him? Pinocchio. She's even bringing this up. Like, just don't even bring up the conversation because you're a big fat liar. Okay, I'm coming back to see you guys. They're all rushing to marry. The 2 males, dilemma, they believe you go in a pair. Right. You have to have a partner or something, I guess. What is the document being read? It just came about 5 minutes ago. So it is on the, it's the arrest affidavit, the probable cause affidavit. And I can I think I could put a link. Hold on. Can I get the link here? It's here. Copy. I can put this link in the chat, I believe. Let me see. Try that. And Jenny. Ian agreeing to wear wire and give tidbits of information make me wonder if he agreed but let her in on the fact so she was having a cover story. Oh, probably. I mean, at first I thought maybe he was kind of freaked out, like, oh my God, this is so weird. I married this crazy lady. I need to help the FBI. But then we should read Ian's letter. I have it. We should read Ian's thing again. What time is it? I think I know exactly where I have it. We could do that too. Because Ian's letter is really bizarre. His notes that Natalie found on his computer. And then he was like, and then I realized everything was fine. It was all good. I'm picturing Hannah listening to Melanie pouring her heart out and wondering, who the heck is this wackadoodle that my brother just married? I know, right? Who is this chick? You think Ian was terrified of all of them? Maybe in the end, when he realized they're actually killing people and he realized he needed to stay on their good side forever, or he might be dead. What? There it is. What? And then you didn't get it? I don't know. And then it was not. The link, you can't get to the link. So, okay. So, Melanie said she and her husband divorced because of his promiscuous behavior. Liar, Pinocchio. Melanie also said that he had to leave her children, that she had to leave her children and had not seen them for some time. Hannah said Melanie appeared detached. Hannah said Melanie mentioned blank and blank. So I'm assuming this is JJ and Tylee, but nothing specifically was stated, and they were mentioned in context of small talk. Melanie also stated her Aunt Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell had left for Hawaii. Hannah said approximately 2 weeks ago, she was told by Ian that Melanie was told Al had taken care of Tylee and JJ, but it was unknown what that statement meant. Melanie's a blah, blah, blah. She literally told Hannah that Uncle Al had taken care of Tylee and JJ. Hannah said she was not aware of anyone from her immediate family being inside the Nissan Rogue, to include her husband and her children. Hannah said it was possible Ian's children had been in the Nissan Rogue. Hannah said she did not observe Ian, Melanie, or Ian's children with any injuries that would have caused bleeding. I provided my contact information to Hannah and encouraged her or husband Lance to contact me if needed. Here's some more notes. Okay, I'll come back to this because I want to see what you guys are saying. Mel knew Zalema beforehand. Oh yeah, they were all doing earthquakes and stuff together. Remember all the text messages and everything? If Ian was terrified, why stay married to Melanie? The baby alone can't be sole reason. He left his other wife and kids. Yeah, and they're still together. I mean, you'd think now it'd be safe for him to peace out. I think Melanie Gibb used medication that makes her just a little loopy, like some sort of benzo. Maybe. It is heartbreaking. The freaking X-Men. Oh, so Lori is going to say, Alex said, I'll take care of the children, but she didn't realize he meant in a gangster speak. Great defense, Lori. Well, yeah, and that's what, and Melanie Pulowski is going to say that too. Yeah, I thought he'd put him in a nice little condo somewhere with some really nice people. And they had a pool, and they were like Julie Rose said, they were happy and beautiful and warm beds and da 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 da. So yeah. Okay, I'm going back here. So this is the searching. So on December 21st at approximately 1600 hours, so 4 p.m., I responded to the vehicle processing bay located at the Gilbert Police Property and Evidence Unit to assist in the execution of a search warrant. Upon my arrival, I met with Detective McDermott Various other Gilbert Police Department personnel were also present. Overall, exterior and interior photos were taken of the blue Nissan Rogue bearing the Arizona license plate. Trace evidence was collected from following areas. So we got from the left front seat, the left front floor, the right front seat, the right front floor, the right seat, the rear seat, blah, blah, blah. Okay, all these seats and rear cargo. A visual search for blood was conducted. Several stains were tested using the, how do you say that? Phenolphthalein blood kit, yielding positive results. The stains were marked, photographed, and collected as follows. Left rear seat cut out, right rear seat belt, right rear seat cutout. A visual search for latent blood was then conducted using Blue Star presumptive test. The right rear seat belt hanger yielded a positive reaction with Blue Star and was then tested using the phenolphthalein presumptive blood kit, yielding positive results. The right rear seatbelt hanger was marked, photographed, and collected as item 4. The following items were photographed and collected as follows. AZOT vehicle registration found in the glove compartment. American Airlines flight receipt found in the back pocket of the right front seat. Taco time and shell receipts found in the back pocket of the right front seat. The digital photos were taken, were burned into a CD and impounded under whatever number. All the items collected were impounded in the evidence unit. So that's all. I think I might find more, but that's all the stuff about the Rogue, Nissan Rogue. What do you think? I think it's very suspicious. We only have one recorded phone call catching Lori in a lie that Alex didn't know where the kids were. Here's to hoping there are more recordings with different stories. Let's hope, for sure. And it looks like, I think that Mel, and Zalema all have deals. Lori Day after Alex died. Oh, Lori Day after Alex died and she still didn't know where they were. She should have been concerned. I think Lori was cocky enough to think that Mel and David would never turn on her. She was almost flaunting the murder to them. Right? I think you're right. I don't know who knew about the blood in the car. Obviously, remember Lori, there was something else too that I came across where all of a sudden Lori got a new car. That was in those text messages with Zalema. Okay, now it makes sense because Zalema and Lori were texting, and that's in my Afterglow podcast. And Lori said, "Oh, I'm at the car dealer. I'm getting a new car." That was right before all this, after the kids were missing. So did she decide she should have just traded in the car, dummy? Like, they still could have gotten it, but still. Anyway, we're lucky she's dumb. I think everybody's very lucky she's an idiot. She just thinks she's smart. And Chad's stupid too. Do you want me to go get Ian's? I have it in paper printed out. Do you want me to read Ian's document again? Yes or no? Just to kind of refresh on that. So she gave Colby the car with blood. What a nice mom. I know, she's so stupid, right? Hi, honey, I love you so much. Oh, I love you, love you, love you. Here's the evidence that's going in your possession. You want me to get it? Okay, I'm going to go get it. Now my dog is probably going to think it's time to do something, so it might take me a minute. I will go grab it. I think I know where it is. I'm almost positive because I just saw it yesterday. I will be right back. All right. Story time. I printed this out several years ago. I read it on a live stream several years ago, but yes, let's have a refresher. So hopefully I have this in the right order. Could be screwed up. I don't know, but I'll just start reading. I wonder how many in the inner circle have deals. Those 3 airheads probably aren't alone in knowing more. They were just the dingbats who let on that they knew, right? Probably, because everybody went quiet. Like a lot of the people that were emailing me in the beginning when I started my channel, nobody else was talking about this. A lot of people that knew Melanie Gibb and knew, they were like on that, what was that chat? Aval. They were on Aval. And a lot of people were like, shit, you know. Even if Lori didn't think the kids were with Alex and safe once she was court ordered to produce, you think she would if that's all she had to do was, right. I mean, if she'd be like, Alex, I'm getting in big fat trouble now, so we really need my kids back. I need to prove it. And they were like, have them hold up a newspaper with a picture. Nothing. All right. So, and when Melanie began sharing all of these things with me, I tried to keep an open mind. I'd only met her 4 days previous, but felt very comfortable around her. See, this might be out of order. I don't know if it is. Hold on. No, it's okay. Okay, I'm just going to go for it. It'll all make sense somehow, maybe, hopefully. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It wasn't an old car. Okay, when Melanie began sharing all of these things with me, I tried to keep an open mind. I'd only met her 4 days previous, but felt very comfortable around her. I believe there is more to the gospel than what I've seen so far, but I never thought it would sound like this. The ideas seemed harmless at first, and she sounded pretty certain of some of them. She talked about how she learned some of these things in the temple and others from Chad and Lori. Upon first meeting Chad and Lori, I didn't get a bad impression of them, but they did seem different. I didn't think anything of that, as I feel like that's a fairly normal feeling to experience. I didn't give them much thought, as they said they were planning on taking off and that I'd be taking the reins concerning the care of Melanie, Pinocchio. They said they'd be going to Hawaii and invited me to come visit sometime. Later, Melanie explained porting, and that they could travel there by that method. Oh, Ian, you know, she's inviting us, but we don't even have to get on a plane. We can just go there in the portal. Okay, she's so stupid. These people are so dumb. Okay, this just makes me crazy. Like this is a real murder of real children, and these people are living on another planet, literally. I mean, come on. Who believes they can get in a portal and go to Hawaii? They could have been there yesterday. Okay, sorry, I'm going to calm down. This is making me so mad. Okay, Brittany says her mom has a Rogue and it has built-in GPS. So there you go. All right. So Melanie's like, hey, new husband, we can get in a portal. The first time hearing all of these new beliefs was a jolt. I was looking for someone spiritual, but this was a leap beyond that into concerning territory. I had fears and doubts, but I trusted Melanie, and I wanted to give it a fair chance. So I continued to listen and ask questions in hopes that it would click for me. It never did. There were fun and exciting ideas, but it all felt like many of them were ripped straight out of Dungeons and Dragons manual. Between the stats, accounts of dark and light weapons, and words spoken in blessings, it sounded like someone had created a tabletop RPG based on the Bible. While living something like that appealed to me, I couldn't find anything to confirm it as I prayed and asked. I figured anyone called to something like this would struggle. But how else would they be made aware of things like this? I continue to try to keep an open mind and proceed with caution. Oh, you like my, thank you. I appreciate that you like my my stops. I always do that, but yeah, I know. So I've had people in the chat be like, just read it. Just read it. Like, no, I have to talk what comes out of my head. Melanie began to share that she feared for the lives of two of her children based on a dream she had where they came to her. They brought her tidings of great joy. Her daughter thanked her for allowing her the freedom to use her agency until the end. This concerned me and made my heart ache for her. I felt there was no way anything could have happened without people finding out. See, Melanie and Brandon's kids are very lucky because that day when she was there kidnapping him that's in a couple episodes ago on my Afterglow podcast, that whole recording. But I think they were going to seriously hurt her children. We married faster than any sane couple would, but we both felt it was right. On our wedding night, she began to elaborate on the ideas she shared earlier about her children coming to her. She explained zombies and her fears about what Chad and Lori stated concerning the original spirits being caught in limbo until the body's death. She stated that Brandon had been possessed by a demon or another dark entity sometime after June of this year. She was told earlier through revelation or by chatter, C-H-A-D-O-R, that something would happen to him, that something needed to happen to him in order for his spirit to progress and for the Lord's plan to continue. If something just caught my eye, there's somebody in the Noah McIntosh that is related to the case that's been commenting on my Noah McIntosh video. Okay, sorry. It just popped up. The Lord's plan to continue. She didn't take well the idea of her husband dying as part of the Lord's plan, but didn't think action would be taken by anyone. She still loves Brandon and would never wish any ill on him. It just sounded to her like it would be something that happened on its own when it was his time. Yeah, just like Lori's all pissed off because Charles was supposed to die in a car crash and there was supposed to be an earthquake and nothing was happening and she was mad. And then she was like, Alex, come spend the night because I'm tired of waiting. This needs to be done. Yeah. All right. This is where things started becoming concerning to me. She shared the idea that Chad and Lori could have directed AI to take a shot at Al. I'm sorry. I was thinking artificial intelligence. It's Al. That Lori could have directed Al to take a shot at Brandon. It wasn't anything she was sure about. The concern began when she was called into Gilbert PD and asked about Chad, Lori, and Alex after the attempt on Brandon's life. We just saw that where she had the kid with her and she wasn't even concerned. And she's like, oh, come here. Remember that one? That was, I just put that recently. Okay, and asked about Chad, Lori, and Alex after the attempt on Brandon's life. She later was given the impression that the buffet needed to move 5 inches. God, it's blurry. And my eyes are obviously having issues. It is my yearly eye exam time. The bullet needed to move 5 inches so as not to hit Brandon. Initially, to me, it sounded like this was told to her by Chad, which probably was. The discussion moved to Chad and Lori's missing children. At the time, only JJ was counted as missing, and the Rexburg Police Department had conducted raids on Melanie's apartment along with Al's. Melanie had been told by Chad and Lori that their children had been possessed and had become zombies. She shared concerns that she had been told Brandon needed to die and that many indicate that Tylee and JJ needed to die as well. She told me she was worried that Al may have had to take care of the kids. She explained that Al, see, there it is again. She explained that Al had great faith and never wavered in his trust in the Lord. No task would be too difficult or great for him. When I asked for clarification, she restated her concern verbatim. I would love to see the prosecutor or defense call Julie Rowe just for the theatrics, just to display what type of nut Chad was looking up to, right? Seriously. Thank you, Ruby. At that point, I became severely worried, but told myself there's no way I just married into a situation so sinister. Wah, wah. I spent the next 2 days trying to justify my actions and reassure myself that everything was fine, but I couldn't get to that point. My ex-wife, Natalie, had been asking for Melanie's name so she could check out her social media and get an idea of who she is. Melanie had been adamant that I not share her full name with anyone for fear that Brandon may locate her and harass her. I couldn't justify that and eventually gave Natalie Melanie's full name. She's got to be a witness, fingers crossed. I can't imagine she wouldn't be. She was huge influence on Chad. Julie Rowe? Oh, yeah, for sure. On Tuesday, December 2nd, so this is right after they got married, right after the Nissan Rogue was left, after they went to Las Vegas. Okay, so Tuesday, December 2nd, I got a call from my mother. She just got off the phone with Natalie. When we divorced, Natalie made a point to cut herself off from my entire family and hadn't spoken to any of them for at least 8 months. She had made as little contact with me as possible, but hadn't been unkind since the initial conflict of the divorce. My mother told me that she just received a video call from Natalie. Natalie was terrified. She managed to reach Brandon through his business and heard his side of things. She'd been told Melanie was in a cult and that she had tried to have him killed. While I didn't and still don't believe she had anything to do with his attempted murder, I was still terrified at the possibility. The next morning on the way to work, Natalie called and we were discussing how to handle this in order to keep our kids safe. Yeah, they did. She told me she'd been going in to meet with the police. I told her I'd go along and lay out everything. I understand. I saw 2 possibilities. The first was that Melanie isn't who I thought she was, and okay, there's a page here that I got to come back to a little bit so I remember, because there's out of order. That I keep myself and my family out of a dangerous situation. The second was that Melanie had been taken advantage of, and I'm going to get her out of a messy situation and healed. Right? Do they have, I thought they had a couple kids now. Do they have more than one? Melanie isn't who I thought she was, you think? The second was that Melanie had been taken advantage of, and I'm going to keep her out of a messy situation. Healed. Okay. When meeting with the police, I intended to share things as I understood. Detective Hope and Hermosillo were present, along with the FBI agent named Ricky. I've since shared all of my concerns with Melanie and have gotten clarification on some of them. What I shared with the police were the ideas that Chad, Lori, and Alex may have planned the shooting at Brandon, and that Tylee and JJ may be in serious danger if Melanie's fears had any validity. If shooting at Brandon was indeed based on the idea that he was no longer actually Brandon and needed to die as part of the Lord's plan, then the kids' lives could be forfeited based on the idea that they're not really Tylee and JJ anymore. I shared that Melanie had concerns about them participating in the shooting and was against anyone trying to hurt him. She couldn't see them doing these things, but she also knew they would follow the Lord's will as they saw it, or as they made it up. I shared ideas about earthquakes being prepared in Salt Lake City, and that it was believed that there would be a time when the quakes hit, that many possessions would occur there due to the high number of injured there would be. Such a thing would be a huge threat to God's plan and would need to be dealt with directly. Alan Zalema had stayed in Las Vegas and were preparing earthquakes. At the time I spoke with the police. So he comes home, he speaks to the police, and those two yo-yos are still doing hanky-panky, honeymooning earthquake incantations or whatever they're called. I'm going to take a sip of water. Voice. Preparing earthquakes. At the time I spoke with the police, I shared concerns for the safety of my kids and Natalie. I offered to help in any way I can. I then allowed them to pull data from my phone. I met with them again the following afternoon and restated what I knew for a few other detectives, Lieutenant Ball and another FBI agent named Travis. They shared some mild concern about me being potentially spying for Chad and Lori. I explained that I was there because I was concerned primarily for the safety of my kids and that I wanted to get Melanie out of this if possible. They gave me a recording device that looked like a thumb drive on a keychain. My plan was to record anything I thought could help locate Tylee and JJ. That could help locate Tylee and JJ, locate Chad and Lori, and understand what happened when Brandon was shot at. If I thought Chad and Lori were going to be calling, I'd turn on the recorder and just let it run until they hung up. I don't feel that anything substantial was recorded, as Chad and Lori never talked about the kids on their location. Most of the conversations consisted of everyone commiserating about the current circumstances, discussing religious ideas, and just catching up. Okay, so I'm leaning towards Melanie knew that he was wearing a recording device, and Melanie told them. And then they called and chit-chatted and didn't go there. That's what I'm leaning towards, because I don't trust Melanie Pinocchio one bit. I know you always go to Vegas when you're preparing earthquakes. Totally right. Seriously, why not? Yeah. I'm thinking, and I'm thinking, Ian told Melanie, I want to help you, Melanie. You're my new wife, and I want you out of a dangerous situation, and I want my kids safe, and da-da-da. And then Melanie's like, Lori, Chad, when you call, don't say anything. The fact that Ian could turn the recorder off and on at will makes me have serious doubts about anything on it. Right. There you go. Totally. In my opinion, Chad and Lori murdered the kids, and Alex was the cleanup guy. I don't know. I think they were. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, they're all guilty as can be, allegedly, or in my opinion, or whatever. Yeah, so he could turn it on and off, and they called, oh, here, they're on. The phone's ringing. Boom. Turn on the recorder. Okay. They should have just tapped their house or something, you know? Can you do that? Can they do that? They do it on TV. In addition to the recordings, I would talk with Ricky, and he'd let me know about things that may come up in conversation. He was never specific, but would give me enough information for me to know when it came up. These tips turned into Tammy's body being exhumed and Al's passing. Yeah, that's not suspicious at all. I think she still brings. Alex would do anything for Lori. I agree that she would. If Lori said, Al, you're my protector, remember? She goes around telling people that. She told the police that on welfare check. Al, you're my protector. Protect me from all of my husbands and people. My theory on the murder is Lori drugged them. Alex got them to Chad's, and both men participated in the killing blows. I hope they don't. I mean, I guess we just want it to be over with, but in a lot of ways, I really would like for this to go to trial because I want to know more. I just get this strange sense that Lori's considering settling. Okay. On December 19th, Detective Hermosillo contacted me and told me they had another warrant for Al's apartment next door. He asked if I'd give them the code to the garage so they would have to break, so they don't have to. I'd give them the code to the garage so they would have to break the door in. I think it meant wouldn't have to. I shared the code. I didn't see any reason not to. They were in with the forensics team and looked for evidence of JJ having been there. Melanie saw them there and spent the afternoon in my apartment that night. That night, okay, so Melanie's staking it out like Chad was when they were digging up his backyard. I met Chad in Utah at UVU. He personally emailed me about his books. I'm so glad I didn't respond. Oh, yes. You made the right choice of not responding. Ugh, scary dude. Ouch. Sorry, I'm on this weird. I got these long pants on that are tangling up. All right. You can't see when I make video recordings, I can edit that crap out, but now you just see me like, oh. So they went in with the forensics team and looked for any evidence of JJ having been there. Melanie saw them there and spent the afternoon in my apartment. That night, I went to the apartment and looked around to see what they had been doing or if they'd taken anything. I also wanted to see warrants to understand what they've been looking for. After looking around, I went to see Melanie at my apartment. I finally broke down and told her that I'd spoken to the police and that I don't, make sure I have the right page, believe any of this. I don't know how she would react, but I couldn't hang on to the stress anymore. Of course, she was hurt, feeling betrayed, but she reassured me that she loves me and that she understands why I did it. At that time, I didn't share that I'd been recording anything. I wasn't sure if we'd hear from Chad and Lori again. See, I think that's all lies right there. Over the following week, we had discussions on our situations, and I came to understand things a little better. She was legitimately afraid of the ideas I'd shared with the police and the FBI, but they weren't anything she had any proof of. As I've spoken to her and dug into the details, I've come to believe that she truly doesn't know anything about who shot at Brandon or where the kids have gone. She only has what-if scenarios that she shared. I'm worried that I jumped the gun and have sent the authorities on yet another wild goose chase, along with promoting them to light up the national media with pieces of what I shared. My intent was to protect my family and help solve the case of the kids' disappearance, not smear anyone in the public eye. I certainly didn't want to give Brandon any ammo to hurt Melanie any more than he already has. You see how his whole tone changed there? Like, what happened? He just kind of flips in that there, you know? Lori, she wanted to know what her husband thought. Yeah, she did. What did my husband think about settlement? And that's when they wanted to do the powwow phone call meeting, everything. And then Judge Boyce was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Pryor pretty much told her to kick rocks. I think I'm thinking she might. I'm thinking maybe Chad will go ahead and go to trial and not settle, and Lori will settle. Kind of thinking that, and then Lori can come in and be a witness. A lot of people I'm hearing kind of that rumor from people. I'm thinking that might be my voice. Let's see. She has the attitude of someone that wouldn't, but I was shocked by Chris Watts. He seemed pretty confident in his TV interview. I think she might be like Jodi Arias, enjoy screwing everything up in court for years and then getting on the stand as the big victim. I still have my doubts, primarily why not turn to the police first instead of disappearing if you claim your life is in danger? Why leave your innocent niece here to clean up the mess and encourage her not to cooperate with the authorities? Why encourage her not to fight for her kids? Her ex-husband now has temporary sole custody as a result. Why not simply provide proof that the kids are okay and put an end to this insanity? Isn't it odd that the two detectives assigned to your case happen to be two of the Kane's Dark 50? Everyone's trying to do their job and save these kids are either evil or deceived. Your kids are missing, and it doesn't come up once during a handful of lengthy conversations. So now he's trying to protect Melanie on this and thinking Lori and Chad are full of baloney. I know. Her and her hair curling issues. She's so weird. And her makeup. There are so many more that I have. I don't ever want to have anything to do with those two after this. Melanie has been put through the ringer because of their paranoia and now is in the hot seat because I went to the police and tried to help. Oh, Melanie's being the victim. They put me in the middle of all this, and now Ian, you put me in the middle of this even more. Pinocchio. Okay, and now in the hot seat because I went to the police and tried to help. I know she's done nothing wrong, and I want her free from this. I will no longer openly cooperate with the police or the FBI. So he's like, I'm not cooperating anymore. Peace out. But I will through a lawyer. My final straw was when I received a call on Friday from Ricky where he threatened charges of lying to a federal officer and being an accessory in the disappearance of Tylee and JJ because Melanie couldn't clearly answer questions about the religious aspects of the investigation. After I shared my doubts with her, her world shattered. She couldn't answer those questions because she doesn't know what she believes about those things anymore. There was so much information dumped on her by Chad and Lori that she can't remember what she learned from them. From the podcast she listened to or from her own, a 20-year-old veteran FBI agent throwing a hissy fit after one shaky interview tells me all I need to know about how they want to handle this. She didn't trust authorities before because of how poorly the AF treated her when she went to pick up her kids with a court order in hand. Oh, when she was up there in Utah trying to get her kids from her in-laws. Oh, I got a court. I need an advocate. I need a victim advocate. And that cop was not having it with her. He was like, you lady, Don't play poor innocent Melanie with me. And then let me go see what this page that I saved was in here, because then there's some other stuff. Oh, this is a repeat. Okay. Yeah, no, this is okay. This is just a double page. I did a double page there. Okay. But then this stuff at the back. Okay. This is, I haven't looked at this in a long time, but this stuff back here, I don't have this on my computer. I don't know why. I need to scan it so we can look at it, but this was, okay. Okay, this is out of order, but I can figure it out. Multiple probations. A, minimum of 9 mortal lives. This was on Ian's stuff. Yeah, it is almost like 2 people wrote it, right? It changes. It's like Ian's like do, and then Melanie found it, and she's like, you know, tell them that you trust me. Change this. Change all that. Okay, multiple probations. A minimum of 9 mortal lives to become exalted, but more to become gods. B, after 2 mortal lives, you can choose to sign a light contract or a dark contract. Choosing light or dark isn't permanent. C, you can choose not to be reborn if you are satisfied with your progress. D, the veil grows thinner each time you are reborn. E, multiple sealings are possible, but males can choose one true spouse or have many. Translation. A, translated beings cannot die, cannot reproduce, do not need sleep or food, and do not feel the sorrow of the world. Injury is possible, but healing is accelerated and it is never fatal. So remember, Zulema and Lori and their text messages, because they got their periods again and they were going backwards 4 days for every day or some weird crap like that because they were being translated. And then I talked to somebody, and I think I might have an email from this person that knew Melanie Gibb, and they were at a funeral or something together. And she told me that Melanie Gibb was like, I'm being translated when they were together that day. And she's like, I should have asked more questions, but I didn't. And Melanie was like, feel me. I'm so hot. I'm being translated. So Melanie Gibb told her friend at some funeral they were at that she was being translated right then and there. And she was hot. So anyway, apparently you can get injured, but you're going to heal real fast and it's never fatal. So somebody can shoot you, apparently, boom, boom. And you're like, ouch, it hurts. Oh, wow, it's better. Oh, that's in Zulema and Lori's text messages too. She's like, didn't you have like a hangnail or some weird crap in there? I just had this in my Afterglow podcast. And she's like, it got better super fast. And Lori was like, yeah, that happens to me too. It gets better really fast now. So this is done in multiple phases. Tests usually lasts 3 days. Upon completing the last phase, the Lord appears to the translated. Oh, there he is. Hi, Jesus. My 3 days are up and I'm all translated now. Thank you. Does anybody else just think this is so weird and crazy that anybody would ever believe this crap? Yes, hot flashes. It's called menopause, Melanie. Menopause. You have hot flashes. I mean, she's at the right age. So 3 days worth of translation, and then you're good to go. The Lord comes down, says, hey, how you doing? And then physical. Can be any physical ailment from sexual desire to disease to severe fatigue. Emotional, any emotional, mental ailment. Spiritual, a great test of faith, a time of darkness and doubt. Sexual, possible new phase discovered as husband and wife become more united sexually, possibly increasing power and vibration. Okay. There are 50 dark translated humans. 1, detectives Hope and Hermosillo have been identified as such. So it's so weird. Like the people that are in their world are the 50 of the dark. Like detectives Hope and Hermosillo. That's number 1 and 2. And then it goes this one. They work under the direction of Satan, Lucifer, and Cain. I'm curious about what happened between him wearing a recording device and thinking this stuff is bizarre. I trust my wife and I'm no longer talking to law enforcement, right? It just flips. It's so, and like, PLM said, it sounds almost like 2 people wrote that. Wonder what happens to the brains of the exalted beings. Do they also reverse age? Because they are all mentally like children. They're going to wind up being an infant. Or maybe they flip-flop and get smarter. I don't know. Lori's too dumb to plea. She's lived off men her entire life. I'm super curious because my phone blew up last night. I had like 42 text messages from VineLink about the court dates. I was like, I'm glad I had my do not disturb on because it was like, which one of my kids is in trouble? I got 42 missed texts. Oh, it was because of that. Okay. So those cops are part of the 50 dark people, and they are under the direction of Satan, Lucifer, and Cain. Isn't Satan and Lucifer the same? Or do I have my devils wrong? Stats, vibration, A. Indication of one's spiritual strength. Above certain level, garments are no longer necessary. So they don't have to wear the Mormon LDS garments after their vibration is a certain 1,000. Chad probably made that up so he could be naked with Lori. Higher vibrations can help thin the veil a little. Yeah. I think Lori believes this is all part of her own godly plan. Lori thinks she's something else. She does think she is the queen. Like, I really think she thinks that this is all part of the plan. Like, it's all going to happen. The whole Armageddon thing, all these earthquakes are going to show up and Lori and Chad are going to walk out of jail and be like, told ya, where's my crown? Here I am. Come on, Melanie and whoever else they've assigned to be one of the 144,000. Libido, 1 to 100. Indication of sex drive. Now, a lot of weird stuff about the whole sex stuff, right? Trust level, indication on how much somebody can be trusted. Light, dark percentage, indication on how much light and darkness dwell in one's body. Right? Seriously. I'm not kidding. Chad's like, hey, I got an idea. Let's just say when this happens. And oh, Lori, guess what? You're at vibration 10,001, so you don't have to wear your garments. And I'm at vibration 10,002. So now you can go to Victoria's Secret. All right. Light, dark percentage indicating how much light and darkness dwell in one's body. Okay, zombies. We're almost at the end of my forever talking. A, human bodies that have had their original spirits forced from them and have been possessed by either a demon, original third of the heavenly host who followed Lucifer, disembodied spirit, once living human spirits who have chosen not to be reborn into another probation, or worm slug, creature controlled by Lucifer that enters the body to control the host. Okay, so the zombies, a human body that has had their original spirits forced from them and have been possessed by either a demon, a disembodied spirit, or a worm slug. So the demon is original third of the heavenly host who followed Lucifer. The disembodied spirit is once living human spirits who have chosen not to be reborn into another probation. And the worm slug creature controlled by Lucifer that enters the body to control the host. Yes, do I have my devils wrong? I'm wondering. Chad's loin fire. Oh my God, that's another one. I haven't looked at that one in a while either. B, under zombies, spirits. Spirits can be pushed from their bodies during traumatic events or deadly injury. So, hey, Loose Can. Hey, how are ya? So spirits can be pushed from their bodies during a traumatic event or deadly injury. So something fell on my head and now my good spirit's gone and now the demon is inside of me, or the worm slug. I think the worm slug. Loin fire. Underwear for men coming soon to your local store. We should make coffee cups with loin fire on them. And zombie loin fires. And C, spirits pushed out are trapped in limbo as the body they're tied to is still living but cannot be occupied by them anymore. So that's when you have to kill them, because apparently, like, Charles's spirit was over here floating around, couldn't get in his body because slug guy was in there. Worm slug was in there. That's what I'm getting. I think we covered it all. That is Ian's information. Haven't read that one in a long time, like a couple years. I think when we got it was like, I don't know, beginning of 2020, like right after all this stuff. I think it was even released before Lori was arrested. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look, because all my old stuff initially was it was in real time. Remember when I was initially, if you've been here since the beginning, as things were happening, I was posting, making videos on a continual every minute, like staying up all night and stuff back then. But we were in the middle of COVID and I didn't have anything to do. So how long have we been here? Oh, kind of long. We covered a lot though. Anything else that I'm supposed to cover right now, or we're just going to say, have a great weekend. I told you my friends say my live streams are too long, so I'm trying to keep them for 1 hour. Oh, Ned Snyder. Yeah, like there was a Ned Snyder that was dead somewhere in Carolinas or something. I mean, no, in like Louisiana. It is. It is. You're welcome. It is mind-boggling still, like for real. And if you guys don't mind, I would really appreciate it if you could. I don't have do I have that? I was going to say, hit the like button. Not this one. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. My channel's 3 years old. It's not as dramatic as some, but we have fun and have a wonderful community, and we are happy to have more of you here. And I'm still considering how I'm going to bring back memberships and what I'm going to do. Hey, sweet Shannon, let me go back. I'm going to look in the chat a little bit, see if there's anything that I missed. Oh, sorry, Roop. Alrighty. There went dinner. Oh, you guys are getting your appetite gone. Awesome. I think they will. I think she's going to have to go to trial for Charles. And then she's going to go to prison with Jodi Arias, right? That would be perfect. I don't know. Maybe the two of them together would be bad news. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you, Ruby. Yes, thank you all for joining the live. Oh, PLM, thank you very much. That was very sweet of you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for supporting my channel. I do appreciate that very, very, very much. Yes, thank you. And Lori, all of my little mods are saying thank you. Thank you so much. All right, guys, I think my dogs want to go potty, and I am going to go finish working on editing Afterglow because I want to get it up this weekend for episode 8. And it was so cool. That worked out perfect because I was working on Afterglow this morning, all morning. And then I was like, oh, because I was just going to talk about Lori and the attorneys, and saying that she thinks because of the speedy trial, you've all heard that Lori thinks that she can be released from everything now because her trial wasn't speedy. I don't think that's going to happen, but I think they're throwing everything at the walls, right? Seeing what sticks. All right. Have a great weekend. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you all. Stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you soon. Bye.